Ladies, let me tell you something about men. When a man leaves, goes silent, or disappears and then comes back, there's always a reason. And most of the time, it's not the fairy tale you think it is. See, men are simple creatures. We don't do things just because. There's always a motive behind our moves. Some men leave thinking there's something better out there. Maybe he got tempted by a new face. Maybe he thought single life would be fun. He sees the excitement, the attention, the thrill of something new. It feels good at first. He convinces himself that he made the right choice. He starts living as if he's free, exploring options, thinking the world is full of possibilities. But here's the truth. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. Sometimes it just looks that way because it's being watered by someone else. At first, everything seems exciting. He meets new people, enjoys new conversations, and believes he's gaining something he didn't have before. But then time passes and reality sets in. The new people in his life don't know him the way you did. They don't understand him like you did. That surface level fun starts to fade, and the depth, the security, the real connection he had with you suddenly seems a lot more valuable. He starts to compare. He realizes that what you brought to the table was rare and it's not as easy to replace as he thought. This is where regret creeps in. He thought he had it all figured out, but now he's looking at his life and seeing the holes in it. He misses how you used to check on him. He remembers the way you supported him, encouraged him, made him feel like he could take on the world. Maybe at the time, he took it for granted. Maybe he thought he could find it elsewhere, or that he didn't need it at all, but now he knows what you gave him wasn't ordinary. The biggest mistake men make is assuming that a woman's love is replaceable. They assume they can find the same level of care, devotion, and loyalty in someone else. But that's not always true. In fact, it's rarely true. Every woman loves differently. Some give a little, some give a lot. But when a man finds a woman who loves him with all her heart, who sees his flaws and still chooses him, that's rare. And when he loses it, he starts to realize he may never find it again. That's when he starts to think about coming back. The other side of this is that men don't always leave because they want something better. Sometimes they leave because they're searching for themselves. A man might step away because he feels lost, unsure, or unfulfilled. He convinces himself that the problem isn't inside him, it's his environment, his relationship, his circumstances. He thinks that by leaving, he'll find clarity. He believes that distancing himself from you will give him the space to figure things out. But what he doesn't realize is that clarity doesn't always come from leaving. Sometimes it comes from staying and working through things. When he walks away, he expects to feel free. He expects to feel relief, to gain perspective. But then something happens. Instead of clarity, he feels emptiness. Instead of peace, he feels confusion. He starts to question whether leaving was really the right decision. He looks back at the relationship and starts replaying moments in his mind. The good moments stand out more than the bad ones. He begins to see things differently. Maybe the problems weren't as big as he made them out to be. Maybe he overreacted. Maybe, just maybe, he let go of something good because he was too caught up in his own thoughts. And then comes the realization that what he left behind isn't just a person, it's a presence, a feeling, a sense of home. He remembers the warmth of your voice, the comfort of your touch, the way you made life easier just by being in it. That's when the regret fully hits. And that's when he starts thinking about coming back. Now, not every man who comes back is coming with pure intentions. Some men return simply because they don't like the feeling of losing. They realize they're not as strong without you, and instead of fixing themselves, they come back looking for the comfort they once had. It's not always about love, it's about convenience. A man might return not because he truly values you, but because he doesn't want to see you move on. He wants to know he still has access to you. He wants to feel like he can leave and come back whenever he pleases. But a real man, a man who has truly learned from his mistakes, comes back different. He doesn't just say he's sorry, he shows it. He doesn't just want to return to the past, he wants to build something better. He comes back not because he's lonely, but because he's grown. And that's the key difference. So the real question isn't just why men come back. The real question is, what kind of man is coming back to you? Is it a man who has realized your worth and is ready to treat you right? Or is it a man who just doesn't want to lose his comfort? That's what you have to figure out. Because the truth is, some men come back because they love you, and some come back because they just don't want to see you happy without them. A man will always return to where he felt loved, respected, and taken care of. When life gets tough, money problems, stress, loneliness, he starts remembering the woman who gave him peace. That peace is something a man doesn't always recognize when he has it. In the moment, he might take it for granted. He might feel like he can handle life on his own, like he doesn't need a woman's support or comfort. But when the weight of the world starts pressing down on him, he realizes how much that support meant. A man's world is full of pressure. Society expects him to be strong, to provide, to have everything figured out. He may not always admit it, but having a woman by his side who believes in him makes a difference. It gives him a sense of stability, a place to rest when everything else feels chaotic. A good woman becomes his safe haven, the one person he can turn to when everything feels overwhelming. At first, he might not think much of it. He might even think he can find that kind of support anywhere. But as time passes, he realizes something important. True emotional security is rare. Not every woman will understand his struggles. Not every woman will listen to him, uplift him, or give him the patience he needs when he's figuring things out. The world can be cold, and after experiencing that, he starts to appreciate the warmth he once had with you. When a man is struggling, he doesn't always talk about it. Some men withdraw, become distant, and instead of opening up, they shut down. Maybe when he left, he didn't fully understand why he was doing it. He might have thought he needed space or that being alone would help him sort out his emotions, but loneliness hits differently when you realize you walked away from the one person who truly cared. There's a point where he starts to compare. He looks at his life before and after you. He remembers how safe and understood he felt when you were in his life. Then he looks at his current situation and realizes it doesn't feel the same. Maybe he's tried to find that same level of connection with someone else, but it's not the same. The way you used to check on him, the way you made sure he was okay even when he didn't say anything, those little things meant more than he realized at the time. Regret starts to creep in when he understands that the connection he had with you wasn't just about love, it was about trust. Trust is something men don't give easily. When they find a woman they can truly be vulnerable with, it changes them. But if they lose her, it leaves a gap that's hard to fill. It's not just about missing the relationship, it's about missing that emotional safety. A man will also return because he knows that deep down, you were the one who stood by him through everything. Life has a way of humbling people. A man who once thought he could do everything alone might face challenges that show him otherwise. Maybe he experiences a major setback, a career failure, family issues, personal struggles. When he was with you, he had someone to share those burdens with. But now he faces them alone and he realizes how much he relied on your support. It's not just about emotional support either. Men remember the little things, the way you used to encourage him when he doubted himself, the way you celebrated his wins no matter how small, the way you made him feel like he was enough even when he didn't feel that way himself. Those things leave an imprint. They stick with a man long after he walks away. There's another layer to this, pride. Some men leave because they feel like they're not enough for the woman they're with. Maybe at the time, he didn't feel like he could provide for you the way he wanted to. Maybe he felt insecure about where he was in life. Instead of expressing that, he left. He thought he needed to figure things out on his own before he could be the man he wanted to be. But then he realizes something important. Love isn't about being perfect. The right woman doesn't expect a man to have everything figured out. She just wants to be there with him while he grows. That's when he starts to regret leaving. He looks back and sees that you never asked for perfection. You just wanted effort. You just wanted honesty. And now that he understands that, he wants another chance. But the problem is, not every man who returns is coming back with the right intentions. Some men come back because they miss the security, not because they're ready to do better. They miss the way you made their life easier. They miss the comfort, the familiarity, the way you used to pour into them. But missing you and being ready to appreciate you are two different things. A man who truly values what he lost will come back differently. He won't just say he misses you. He'll show you through his actions. He won't expect things to go back to how they were overnight. He'll prove that he understands his mistakes and is willing to do better. But a man who just misses the comfort will expect you to welcome him back without question. He won't take accountability. He won't change his ways. He'll just assume that because he's back, everything should be the same. That's why it's important to look at why he's coming back. Is he coming back because he truly sees your worth? Or is he coming back because life got hard and he wants something familiar? Does he recognize what he had and want to build something stronger? Or is he just looking for an easy way to feel good again? The truth is, some men come back because they love you, and some come back because they just don't like feeling alone. Some come back because they've grown, and some come back because they miss the convenience of being with someone who truly cared. It's up to you to decide which one he is. Men have egos. We like to think that whenever we leave, he's just sitting there waiting for us to come back. A man might return just to see if he still has that hold on you. It's not always love. It's a test. He wants to know if you're still available, still missing him. And if you let him back in too easily, he might walk out again just as fast. A man's pride is a powerful thing. He might not say it out loud, but deep down, he likes to feel like he's irreplaceable. When he leaves, he expects you to still be there, thinking about him, longing for him, checking his social media, wondering if he's thinking about you too. He assumes you'll still be available when he decides to come back. That's why some men disappear and reappear without hesitation. They believe they still have a place in your life no matter how much time has passed. At first, he may not even realize he's testing you. He just feels a pull to check in to see if the door is still open. He might send a random text, ask how you been, or casually bring up an old memory. He's not necessarily coming back because he wants to rebuild something. He's coming back to see if he still has access to you. If you respond quickly, if you show excitement, if you welcome him back without question, he takes that as confirmation that you're still his in some way. That feeds his ego. It reassures him that he hasn't truly lost you, even if he was the one who left. This is where the cycle begins. Some men keep coming back not because they're ready for commitment, but because they enjoy knowing they still have power over your emotions. They don't necessarily want to be with you long term, but they don't want you to move on either. They don't want you to move on to have you. They like knowing they can come and go as they please, and as long as you let them, they will. A man's ego can be fragile. The moment he suspects you're moving on, his curiosity kicks in. If he sees you looking happy, if he hears that you're dating someone new, if he notices that you've stopped reaching out, that's when he suddenly remembers you. It's not necessarily because he wants to make things right. It's because he wants to make sure he hasn't lost control. The idea that you could be happy without him stings more than he expected. He might not have valued you the way he should have, but the thought of another man appreciating you the way he didn't, that's a hard pill to swallow. This is why men tend to resurface right when you're starting to move on. It's almost as if they can sense it. The moment you stop thinking about them, the moment you start feeling good again, they pop back up. It's not a coincidence. He's checking to see if he still has a place in your life, if he can still get your attention, if he can still get you to respond. And he feels a sense of control. It's not always about love. It's about proving to himself that he hasn't truly lost you. This is why it's important to recognize the difference between a man who genuinely regrets leaving and a man who just doesn't want to lose his sense of power. A man who truly values you won't just check in to see if you're still available. He'll take real action to rebuild trust. He won't just show up when he thinks someone else might be taking his place. He'll show up because he genuinely wants to make things right. There's a difference between missing you and wanting to be with you. Some men miss you because they liked how you made them feel, but they're not actually ready to give you what you deserve. This is where you have to be strong. When a man comes back after disappearing, don't just listen to his words, watch his actions. Is he consistent? Is he making an effort? Or is he just saying what he knows you want to hear? A man who truly wants another chance will prove it. He won't just check in when it's convenient for him. He won't just pop up when he sees you happy without him. He will be intentional about showing you that he's changed, that he understands your worth, that he's willing to do the work. But if he's just coming back to see if he still has access to you, you'll notice a pattern. He'll come and go. He'll give just enough to keep you interested, but never enough to fully commit. He'll say the right things, but his actions won't match. He'll keep you in a cycle of confusion, making you wonder where you stand. That's not love. That's control. Men don't always come back because they've changed. Sometimes they come back because they assume you haven't. They assume you're still in the same place emotionally, still waiting for them, still willing to give them another chance. But the moment they realize you've outgrown them, that's when their real intentions become clear. If a man truly values you, he'll step up. If he just values the idea of still having access to you, he'll pull away the moment he realizes you're no longer easily available. So the real test isn't whether he comes back, it's what he does when he does. Is he coming back as a better man, ready to love you the way you deserve, or is he just coming back to see if he still has a hold on you? The answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know.